This week's Nelson County Spotlight is brought to you by Heaven Hill Distilleries.
This is Heaven Hill Distillery, and we are in the dump room, and this is where we actually empty the aged bourbon barrels that have aged in the warehouses. Each barrel weighs about 150 pounds empty and 500 pounds full. We pay about $100 a piece for each brand new white oak charred barrel, and we can only use the barrel one time. To make Kentucky straight bourbon, we can only use the barrel once. We resell our barrels to Canada, Scotland, and they use the barrels to age their whiskeys in, their Canadian whiskey, their Scotch whiskeys, and by using our barrels, that will help flavor their whiskeys as well. So we can empty about 800 to 1,200 barrels here a day. The barrels are coming in aged from the warehouses. We pump the bourbon out of these barrels. It takes about 2 minutes to pump the bourbon out of the barrels, and we add a couple gallons of water, and it is barrel strength, and it'll go into a holding tank so we can bottle it for whatever brand it is. We replace new barrels of new whiskey to start aging immediately, so our warehouses are staying full. The barrels will travel around this conveyor here, and we have a robot that is instructed by a laborer here that will load these barrels 3 high in a tractor trailer. And from here, the bourbon will go into a storage tank where we will use it for a certain particular label, like our Evan Williams Black Label.
Okay, now that the barrels have been pulled from the warehouse, they've been dumped in the dump room and went through the processing department. We're now at the bottling facility here at Heaven Hill. And as you'll see today, we're running some Evan Williams Black 1.75 on D-line, and we'll now take a walk through how the bottling process works. This is D-line at Heaven Hill, and on D-line we produce 1.75 Evan Williams Black, which is what we're currently running today. The process on how the bottling line works is the cases come from empty glass, and there's empty bottles that are dumped to a dumper. Then we run them through a bottling cleaner to where we clean any dirt or excess debris that could be inside of the glass. And it's then ran through a filler where we fill the bottle with the bourbon. And then we place a cap on the bottle through a capper machine. From there, it goes on and gets a label at the label machine. And this is our labeling machine. Basically, with this particular product, we have a neck wrap, a front label, and a back label that is applied. The neck wrap's applied first, as you can see here. Then the front label, which is station 2. And last but not least, the back label, which is station 3, before it exits the label machine. Okay, to complete the bottling process, the finished good product will now be dumped back into the original case that it came out of as an empty bottle. Okay, once the cases are full of the good product, then it is then palletized to a palletizer machine and then placed in our full case warehouse good for shipment. And that completes basically the bottling process. We're glad that you guys could come in and take the time to get a general walkthrough of what we do here at Heaven Hill. Thank you.
This week's Nelson County Spotlight has been brought to you by Heaven Hill Distilleries.